Hussein is in Brighton. Hussein, what would you like to say?
Good morning, James. The reason why the media's silent on the matter at the moment...
It's not silent. It's not, being a bit pedantic, it's not silent. I mean, we're in the middle of a conversation about it. The Financial Times carries an excellent op-ed today. Reuters has reported But yes, that's the question that I'm asking.
The leader of the free world yesterday called Chuck Schumer a Palestinian. That's a racist slur. No one talks about it. This is the leader of the free world, but put that to one side.
I've got that clip, actually. I'll dig it out for you, just to enforce the point that you're making. It's an anti-Semitic slur, as well as racist. It's because Schumer is Jewish.
But I had to dig and dig and dig to finally get an actual news story. Yeah. I couldn't see it anywhere.
Go on.
James, sorry. Yeah. So what I was saying was, if we've got news headlines like 40 beheaded babies or babies baked in ovens or mass rape, etc., etc., this fits a particular narrative, and that narrative, for whatever reason, suits certain news organisations, and they will go hell and leather to put their reports on their front pages, etc. Look. About a month after the war started, on the 7th of October, there was the former top military officer, I think it was General Aviv Kohavi.
Right.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Literally went on the news rounds to the BBC, to The Guardian, to all these editors, to the Financial Times, to Sky News, met with David Lammy on a news tour. Basically, why? To coerce these news channels to perpetuate their narrative. What happened to Sangita, even at LBC? No,
that's just Rolex, mate. And I mean, you can say it because you've got free speech, but that's just crap.
Thank you.
All right. We all sit in. I'll tell you something, because it bores me rigid. This, and I can't believe that certain people have allowed this lie to be perpetuated. We sit in a room every 3 months. Every single person that works here. We sit in a room every 3 months. They show us graphs of how our programme is performing, right? Everybody knows when someone's vulnerable. And it's not the graph of what audience you inherit when you come on air. It's a graph of how your audience falls or rises during the duration of your programme. Every single person in this building sits in that room and watches a graph for every single programme every 3 months, all right?
I don't want to get off topic.
No, you said it. You can't backtrack now, mate. You have decided. You have decided to believe something that isn't true, and the only person that can prove to you that it isn't true has decided to stay silent and allow people like you to believe slurs and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about her former colleagues. So
I didn't make an anti-Semitic slur or anything.
Yes, you are. You're claiming that someone has been censored or silenced when they haven't.
But that's not anti-Semitic. How's that anti-Semitic? That in itself is what's wrong with everything.
Okay, mate. I am setting the record straight on something, okay? And the idea that somebody would be silenced for being critical of Israel during a phone-in that is heavily critical of Israel is palpably absurd. You can dispute the fact that it's anti-Semitic. That's my opinion. And that is my freedom of speech that I am exercising, just as you are exercising yours. But if you choose to come on this programme and tell lies about every single one of my colleagues, I will push back, okay? And that is what you are doing. I sympathise with you because the lies have been deliberately allowed to fester by somebody who can only answer for their own conduct. But it is lies, okay? James. And if you want to come on this programme again, you are more than welcome.
Thank you, James.
So now back to the subject in hand.
Thank you. James, what I was saying was there was a concerted effort by people within the Israeli government to go out to news organisations. That's not anti-Semitic. That's fact.
Yeah, no, of course it is.
And I've said the name. They went round. They did literally a news round. Why? Why are news channels even entertaining? You guys should be completely independent. We just want the truth, like you just said. Fine. If you've put me straight on the Sangita story, then that's fine.
I shouldn't really have had to. It shouldn't have fallen to me to do that. If it was me in that position, I'd have done it myself. I wouldn't have waited for somebody else to have to do it on the station. But that falls to me, and I accept most of what you say. So what you haven't addressed is the question of why it has now stopped.
What I'm saying is that there is an immense pressure put on news organisations to follow a particular narrative.
No, but there isn't. You see, no, that there genuinely isn't. I didn't want to talk about this today for emotional reasons, not because anybody's putting pressure on me. And I think if I were a supporter of Benjamin Netanyahu, I wouldn't want to talk. I wouldn't want to talk about it for reasons of shame.
James, not for a second. I see you as somebody who's very level-headed. Not for a second. I think that you're too big to cut, by the way. That's my personal opinion. I think...
Well, okay, you can carry on believing nonsense, can't you? But we sit in the same room every 3 months looking at the same figures and the same graphs. But, hey, that's fine. I can talk about whatever I want, as I am proving to you now, and so can my colleagues. It is coming up to 11 o'clock. You are listening to James O'Brien on LBC.